Here's E. In today's video, I will make a northern Chinese food, and it's called 肉夹馍. If you're going to Xian, where the terracotta soldiers are, and that's the food from this area. There's actually a really famous Chinese restaurant in London. It's a Taiwanese restaurant, but they also serve this kind of food. It's called the 肉夹馍. So it's like a Chinese sandwich. The buns are handmade. I'm making two kinds of buns for this video. One is crispy, which is more traditional, and the other one is soft. It's a soft East buns, which is also served in this restaurant in London. If you're going there, it's called a bao. So I will write down the link in the description. Hopefully you enjoy today's video. For our recipe, we will need 1 teaspoon of rock sugar, a pinch of salt, 1.5 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of Chinese cooking wine. Here are some of the spices we will need. 2 sticks of cinnamon sticks, 2 star anise, 2 bay leaves, 1 teaspoon of cloves, 1 teaspoon of Sichuan chili peppercorns, and 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. We're going to use this kind of tea bag to wrap all our spices together and to seal it while cooking. When you open it, it looks like a bag. You can also use these kind of pre-made spices bag. I bought this from Taiwan. It has everything you need for this recipe, but in this case, we're going to make our own. I'm just adding all the spices into the tea bag. Once it's done, I'm just sealing it by flipping the bags over. Here I'm going to use about 400 grams of pork belly. I just like how these pork bellies look like. And we're also going to use about 3 slices of ginger and half spring onion. Take a pot of cold water, turn our stove to medium heat, adding our pork bellies into the water. Close the lid and bring it to boil. Once it starts boiling, we can see lots of scum floating. We can use a spoon to remove all the dirt. Then we can add in our rock sugar, ginger, and spring onions. Then our spice bag. Adding our Chinese cooking wine, 1 tablespoon. Light soy sauce, 1.5 tablespoon. Dark soy sauce, 1 teaspoon. Adding a pinch of salt. Then we can remove the floating scum using a spoon again. Close the lid and let it cook for at least 2 hours. We will need 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 7 grams of yeast, and 3 grams of baking powder, a pinch of salt, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Mixing our dry yeast with lukewarm water. Mix it well, adding our sugar. and let it sit for at least 5 minutes until it starts forming. Adding 1 pinch of salt into flour and our yeast mixture. Then adding our baking powder. And mix it well. We will need about 135 grams of water. We're just adding the water slowly. Keep kneading our dough until it's smooth. Close it with the lid and let it rest for at least an hour. After an hour, we can take our dough out. It should be double in size. A bit of loose flour on the working surface. Then we can release the air from our dough by kneading it. Until it's smooth, we can weight our dough and cut it in half. Firstly, we are working on 1/2 of the dough. Roll it. And we're going to separate it to equal 4 parts. Each part should be around 45 grams. So knead each our small dough to make them round. So after that, we have 8 smaller doughs. We're going to make 2 kinds of buns. For our hard buns, we're going to take some goose fat. You can also use vegetable oil or lard. Just brush it around our dough and let them rest for about 15 minutes. While waiting, we can make our soft buns. Take 1 small dough and roll it to an oval shape. Brush our goose fat on one side of the dough. Fold it from the middle and let them rest. Then we can keep working on the rest of the doughs. Take a small hair comb. We're going to make some patterns on our dough. Just press our comb deep into the dough and make them look like lotus leaves. Pinch the bottom part in the middle and use a comb to press the top parts. Here we would want to press our dough a bit harder to make a deeper pattern, so later when we steam our buns, the pattern would remain. They will look like small lotus leaves. After resting our buns for at least 15 minutes, we can cook the water until it's hot and steamy, putting our buns in a steamer and steam it for about 15 minutes. Now we can make our hard buns. Take the rested dough, press it flat, and use a roller to press it flatter and long. Fold it over in the middle, vertically. Then roll it from one end to the other and close it by folding the other end on the bottom. Now we can work on the rest doughs. When we have all the doughs ready, we can let them rest for about 15 minutes. Then we can press them flat with our hands. Then use a roller to flatten them even further. Now from a different angle, we're trying to keep the buns round and flat. Once it's done, we're going to need some sesame oil, about 1 to 2 teaspoons in the flat pan. We're going to pan fry our hot buns. Until one side is crispy, we can flip them over to cook the other side. Now heat up our oven to 200 degrees Celsius and we're going to bake our hot buns for about 10 minutes. While our buns are cooking, we can prepare our vegetables. Cut our coriander and spring onions. Remove the root of the spring onion and mince it. Then our cooked pork bellies. Now they're super tender and juicy. We're going to mince our pork bellies as well. Now pour about 1 cup of the sauce into our pork belly. So here are my hard and soft buns. Now we can start assemble our Chinese sandwiches. So here are my 肉夹馍. You can see I made 2 kinds of buns, or ball or mo. Here this one is tiny bit pan fried and then put in the oven, so it's crispy, you can see. And this is a more traditional way how people are doing it in China. And here this one is steamed and you can see it's soft and you can actually open it with a knife or just with your hand. So this one looks almost like a leaf. Let's give both a try. All we need to do is open this. Here is my pork belly and cook after 2 hours with a bit of sauce inside. And all we want to do is put in a bit of the meat. Here is coriander and spring onion, so you can put in as much as you like. Now we're going to do the second one. Here I'm going to use a knife to open it up. Careful not to cut yourself. Here you can see outside is crispy, inside it's really dense. And we're going to put a bit of our pork belly. Okay. And a bit of our coriander and spring onion. Now I'm going to give both a try. So firstly, this crispy 肉夹馍. It's almost, I don't know, Chinese sandwich. Maybe you can call it this way. Guten Appetit. It's really crispy outside. If you like it a bit juicy, you can just drizzle a bit of the sauce. Now I'm going to try the second one. So it's really soft. It's really hard to say which one's better. I think if you have really good teeth, you can try the hard one. If for older or children, elderly or children, maybe the softer one is better because it's really easier, very tender. So, hopefully you liked today's video. Please give me a thumbs up and leave your comments below. If you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thanks for watching.